Put the ring into the volcano and see what happens. What is your destiny?
He's going to say a lot of words like destiny.
This country's destiny is bound by fate. Open the puzzle box and make the gate to hell.
Hold the on. We have to hear this.
Little meta.
No, not his life. It's really creepy.
No one loves you, Wart.
What's wrong with this dog?
We need to put an official complaint in. This is bullshit.
I'm not going to let you beat up on yourself.
Why?
You didn't know, and you were willing to be vulnerable in that moment.
You think that's triggering? Abracadabra!
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network. You're listening to Gas Digital Best of the Week.
Spit roast, rockin' coast to coast. Got a dope competition. Louis J's the host. Who's got the joke composition? Be declared the ghost.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's spit.
All right. Tonight we're roasting Memorial Day because Arbor Day couldn't make it. Most Americans get blackout drunk with their friends on Memorial Day weekend, which is an appropriate way to celebrate an event where most of your buddies don't make it back.
During Memorial Day, we lay some hot dogs on the grill and burn them to a crisp the same way our soldiers did to the Vietnamese in the 60s.
It must suck to be the second best ghost-themed holiday. I guess it can't be too fun, or all those zombies would come up and make the most depressing thriller video of all time.
Memorial Day, flags in the U.S. are flown at half-mast. And if you don't know what half-mast means, just close your eyes and imagine Rich Voss trying to get a boner.
You lost my vote.
Sorry. You won mine.
It's only half-mast if it's on a ship, actually. The best way to celebrate Memorial Day weekend is to get in the car with your friends and go on a long drive. Because if the soldiers can't be there, you can at least burn some of the oil they died for. The end.
Some southern states have an alternative Memorial Day that is called Confederate Memorial Day. In the regular Memorial Day, at 3 p.m., everybody does 1 full minute of silence to honor the soldiers, whereas in the South, they do a full minute of screaming the N-word.
That's a lot.
One more time, come on!
Yeah!
One more time for Pedro and JP. Great round, lots of fun. Joe List, this is it, the best of the best. That was a fun round.
Great round, best of the best. I mean, you can't follow the best roast of all time. That's tough. The best they can do is second best roast of all time. But that was a great round. I love both these guys, both great comics. And I'm going to give a slight edge to Pedro just because he got the biggest pop on that one joke that I had spaced out for, actually. I missed the joke. But it really hit hard.
Bird to a crisp. Hot dogs, very good.
Pedro gets 1 vote from Joe List. Give it up for Pedro. Come on, folks.
Pedro.
Come on, folks. Aaron Berg.
These guys are good roasters. I've seen Pedro roasting for 5 or 6 years now. English, still not good. It's amazing. Still talks like he just got here 2 days ago on a fucking bus. He's staying at that hotel in Midtown. JP fucking crushed it. Oh, God. Pedro, the hot dog joke. Yeah. I gave that round to Pedro.
Pedro takes round 1. It is. We're not even going to go to Rich. No, Rich, relax. We're not going to go to you.
That Pedro had to just learn what Memorial Day was
That's
in
true.
this country. They were so good, the jokes. They both were great.
They were both great,
This is one of the best roasts I've ever seen. The best.
Hey, natural born killers, Legion of Skanks.
Try. By the way, last time we were in the studio, I was getting ready to interview RFK over there, and everyone was smoking weed. And then at one point, it dawned on me, I was like, man, I hope that doesn't turn him off, that like it's going to stink like weed when he comes in. And then I figured out that was the least of my problems.
That was the least of your worries.
Can we all just be cool about things?
Yes.
He's like a hippie, but he's got that voice. I don't know. This might be the weed talking, but
The gays. I'll give you a pass. I like their moves.
I thought they should have won second.
Dude, I hope he
place,
becomes the
definitely.
president. That'd be the best, dude.
People of America. He sounds like fucking Skeletor.
Hello, He-Man. You think you're gonna stop me? Kneel before RFK, Iowa.
The leader of the free world, RFK has arrived.
Your emperor is now here.
It would have been better if she was like,
Dave, turn Republican, and your journey to the dark side will be complete. Are you a god?
He has the voice of a Marvel villain.
No. Then die.
He sounds like he's hiding Infinity Stones.
I can't wait. Kneel before me and get your health care. Put the ring into the volcano and see what happens. What is your destiny? He's going to say a lot of words like destiny. This country's destiny is bound by fate. Open the puzzle box and make the gate to hell. He sounds like Pinhead.
He does.
Zach Amico's Midnight Spook Show.
You know, Halloween started, and I was in an Uber, and there was the Uber driver was an immigrant, and he heard that I'm an immigrant, and then we were chatting, and he was complaining about Americans and Halloween, and I was like, actually, I'm sorry, it originated in my country.
That's like,
he just thought,
is that the whole Samhain thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically like the Mexican Souls Day, but it's our Soul Day, yeah.
And the dressing up came from that?
Yeah, I can't remember where the dressing up came from, but yeah, the jack-o'-lanterns and the bonfires and the spookiness and the banshee. I don't know. I feel like the banshee.
Well, the jack-o'-lantern, that was just regular teeth.
That was regular.
That was just regular. That was They were actually. That was just supposed to be a British person.
You know, yeah. The original jack-o'-lantern wasn't done with pumpkins. It was done with something else, and then I think Americans made a pumpkin.
Gourds, right?
Something like that. I can't
It
remember.
was like a squash or something.
Yeah, it was something. I wish I had. I remember reading it, and then the information. Oh, Jesus! What? You're eating the fucking dog.
It says they were actually made from turnips and potatoes originally.
Thank you.
Turnips. That was it. It was turnips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you so
much. Oh my
much.
gosh.
Potatoes. That's so
I don't
funny.
know how big turnips are there, but seems a lot.
There's loads of
Carve one
stuff in Ireland that's like Halloweeny. Like people have the cure to certain illnesses, like warts. You can go to a person and you give them money and you give them your full name, like every name, your middle name, and your Catholic name, whatever. And then they get rid of the warts. I did it, and she got rid of my warts on my hands.
Doctors?
Really glad you said hands.
Yeah. Well, I was 12. It would have been a.
Wait, are you just talking about like a doctor? I'm very
No.
confused
She's
right
just
now.
like a woman, and you don't. I didn't even see her. I just wrote down my full
Women
name.
can be doctors, all right? So
And she has the cure. They say like a prayer. And there's another one where they have a cure for burns and they lick a lizard. It sounds like I'm just making shit up with you guys, but it's real.
Did you try to get rid of the wart non-magically?
Yeah, I tried freezing it, and it was all on my hands.
freezing it, burning it, drowning it, shooting it.
Yeah, and
I
that
called
was
it a liar.
That was the last.
I held it
resort.
underwater and told it to say it was a witch.
No one loves you, Wart, and wouldn't leave.
The ship is called the John Minturn, if Harrington can pull up a picture of it. The John Minturn, Minturn. And the John Minturn, I found out, there's a piece of it that's hanging up in a bar called the Shore House in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Have you ever been?
No, but I'm writing it down.
It's a pretty happening place.
Say it again, the name of it?
The Shore House in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. So there's a piece of the not the USS, I'm sorry, it's the John Minturn was the ship. And the John Minturn was coming up from, boom, he's got it. So that picture's also hanging up inside the Shore House here. And I'm sitting there, and my day job at the time was cleaning beer lines. So we would go in and we would, at 5 a.m., I'd be in this place by myself. And you're connecting the beer lines in the basement, and then you go upstairs. You can't find the lights all the time. Sometimes you hear stuff falling. You just assume you're knocking shit over. I find out later on that the John Minturn was a ship that got stuck out at sea, but in the winter, so you couldn't get out to like rescue them. It got stuck there, smashed apart by the waves. The people in Point Pleasant that were living there at the time could hear the screams of people, and frozen bodies washed up on shore for like 3 weeks. So part of that ship is preserved in this place, the Shore House, where I am. I'm literally standing there near the piece of this thing with pictures of the captain up like there, the picture that Harrington just had up there.
Did anybody live? Am I ruining the story?
Very, very few people lived. It was just the people that were able to get rescued off.
Point Pleasant or Wildwood?
So it's going to be what is now considered Point Pleasant. So, and what happened was, I think it was it was Swan Beach that the people were washing up along the shore of. And their dead bodies were taken. Boom, there's the Shore House. So that is Point Pleasant. So I'm in there at 5 a.m. by myself, downstairs in the basement, walking around. The John Minturn is a very old building in town. We find out the reason why they have part of this, ghost ship, if you will, was that when the dead bodies that were frozen washed up along the shore, who the people earlier were hearing scream, those bodies were taken and put on display in the town's funeral home, which is now the Shore House in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Fun.
So I'm sitting there by myself at 5 a.m. hearing weird stuff, and then the guy who comes in who's the owner's like, this place is haunted as shit, right? Meanwhile, I've been there 3 or 4 times now by myself. Always just said, oh, it's just a cup knocking over. And then now my partner, who is Puerto Rican, I explained to him like the ghost story of it. So now he would just go over and like touch the thing and be like, "We're okay now." So I feel like I think he brought his is it Brujo magic?
It's called sazon. It's a spicy. It's a spice. It's a Goya spice. You need a little sazon. Go ahead.
Indeed. No, this sounds much like the Greek bouillabaisse, as I've heard. But yeah, that's the Shore House. So I found out I've been hanging out in a haunted place by myself during the witching hour, pretty much, where dead bodies were absolutely displayed. And from a horrible maritime tragedy of which now Harrington and I can tell you guys about.
So you mentioned like the sound of like a cup hitting at a table or something, but was that the extent? Like what sort of sounds did you hear?
Stuff would get knocked over every now and then, which was creepy. And by the way,
you saw the thing get knocked over. You heard the sound.
You'd hear stuff getting knocked over. You'd hear creaks and stuff like that.
And no one was there. The people weren't in the bar upstairs. It was empty.
Sometimes you would lie to yourself and be like, "Oh, it's probably the owner upstairs rooting around or something."
Yeah.
But nobody would get there till about 5:30 usually. So it would be me, especially if I got there early. I'd have like a good 45 minutes in pure darkness walking around a very haunted place down the Jersey Shore. So now knowing the story, because as soon as we did that, we did a whole episode of the podcast on it. And it did make me nervous henceforth walking into that place. So it's a creepy joint.
What up, motherfuckers? It's the Real Ass Podcast. I used to want to be a magician when I was a kid, so I used to practice magic tricks. And what I had heard...
So stab the cat.
So I heard...
Is this your lost dog?
So I read, oh my God! I read a book about how to create your own magic tricks. Like, essentially, they said you have to start off with... You work backwards. You start off with the goal, the desired effect. This actually became an analogy for my entire life and how I do things. Skank, Fast Gas Digital, all the things that I've created, it was start off with me going like, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to figure it out backwards from there, right? And this I read in a magic book as a kid. Figure out the effect that you want, and then figure out the steps on how to create that effect and work backwards, right?
I want to cut my girlfriend in half. Now,
I want to kill a cat.
How do I do that? Yeah. So I'm going to pull some sort of hawk out of my hat. Okay, that's the goal here.
I'm going to make the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Yeah.
Come here, kitty.
I'm going to fly.
So I'm going to make my parents appear.
Okay, no, so what I wanted to do was, essentially, I wanted to do the knife through the box with a live...
Right.
So
oh my God.
All I had was a cat, and then I had just a cardboard box and a bunch of kitchen knives. I didn't think it out any more than that. What I said was, I want to put the cat in the box, and then I want to put the knives through the box in a way to where I can create a pattern to where I knew where the cat would be. This living...
And now, my beautiful assistant, Mrs. Jingles.
Easily trainable cats.
Dude, this is brutal.
So literally, I grab the cat and she sees the knives in the box. She's like,
I don't think this is a good idea, to be honest.
And what I did was I took the cat and I put her into the box. And I put my hand there because I wanted to hold her still. So
you have a knife and ta-da! Ta-da! Ta-da!
It was like cutting an avocado.
Abracadabra!
Abracadabra!
Episode name, I'd say.
So I held the cat there, and then I started putting the knives through. And like I said, I was just trying to create a pattern. And the idea was I was going to keep the slits, and that's when I would know there'd be a cat shape.
You were tracing the cat with knives. Yes. I will say this, though. If you could pull this off, it's one of the best tricks I've ever seen in my life.
So I had the cat there, and then at one point, I put the knife through, and I went, and it just sliced my thumb. Really, like you saw the scar. You still see it to this day.
Oh, my God.
I was like 8. That scar is still there to this day. And I just bled fucking everywhere and came out and then ran out. And that was the end of that trick.
That's literally the best case scenario of what could have happened.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I either got ripped off or this is my first case.
You know what happened to me once on this mountain?
Right.
I lost a tennis ball because there's like an old tennis court. And I lost the ball and I stuck my hand, don't do this, in like shrubs. Wasps.
Oh my God.
Wasps all over. Spanish wasps. Spanish mountain wasps. Spanish mountain wasps. Say that fast.
Spanish mountain wasps.
Yeah.
Spanish mountain wasps. Spanish mountain
You can't
wasps.
do it. You said wasps.
Oh, wow, that's an ethnic slur on myself.
Yeah. So
Fun for the fans. They love it when I trip.
I keep
trip
looking
up.
at your
But you
camera.
challenged me to do it, and I did it, and now it's like a slur.
And you messed up. Yeah.
Well, it's a slur. You've lured me into a slur, much the way the wasps lured you.
You got it wrong again, I think.
Wasps.
Anyway, I had bumps all over my body.
Yeah.
And I had to be taken down the mountain. And
To get medical care
To
for
get
the
medical
wasp
care.
stings.
And he's like, we need to give you an injection because these are growing. These bulges,
Mhm.
they're swollen. And he goes like this. I know your fans can't see it. You can explain it to them. I thought this meant ass.
Yeah.
I pulled my pants down, Mike. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
you did.
He went to my lower with my ass hanging
Right.
out. He shot me right at the lower back. I did not have to pull my pants down.
You got naked for no reason.
I got naked for no reason. It was so humiliating.
Hilarious.
This was 10 years ago. And
how long did you guys date for after?
Oh my God. What a romantic story if that
That's
were true.
really would top your parents' story of 4 dates and meeting.
Better than translation of love.
Yes.
Pants down meeting. What would it be called? No need to pull them down.
No, keep it in your pants.
Keep it in your pants.
I think we just named the episode.
Or the wasps of love.
Yes.
The wasps of love. Do you know that still haunts me after 10 years that I pulled my pants down?
I think that is great.
That is when you immediately go, I am the dumbest American ever, and I don't want to speak your language because I don't even...
I'm not going to let you beat
What?
up on yourself.
Why?
You didn't know, and you were willing to be vulnerable in that moment. You really trust doctors more than most people.
I do. My mom's a nurse.
Oh, my God.
I could tell her anything. Anyway, I
What
had
was
to
the
go
copay?
back.
Flowers?
A date.
Okay. it was
So
a
the
date.
next day,
Yeah.
it was so bad. I had to go back down the mountain for more injections. And I'm like, if I
Yeah,
see
you
that, I
did.
swear, more injections. If I see that man again,
Yeah.
I'm going to be so embarrassed. It was another
Was he
man.
handsome?
The butt one was.
The one where you pull your
Yeah,
pants
the
down? Did that
second one.
Be honest. Did it have anything to do with it? Pulling down your pants?
No, but
sure?
but his reaction
Mhm.
was super cute because he
Yeah.
had to stay professional.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he didn't even say, this is the part, he didn't say, pull your pants up. I meant your back because he couldn't speak English. I don't know if he didn't think I could speak Spanish.
Right.
But he just gave me the injection with my ass out.
But did he pull his pants down to make you, you feel like you weren't alone?
Oh, Oh, that's
and
so
like we're
nice.
both have our pants down,
Oh
and
my
it's like, what are we
God.
doing here? It's like,
I used to always think about that. Like, I always felt like a dog. Like,
Okay.
you ever see those? Well, you've never seen them, but the dogs that got to go to training to be like a CNI dog. And like the first
Dogs
test,
with a job.
right? Exactly, which is bullshit. That's not what they're here to do. But that's another
Yeah.
topic. We're
Hey,
not,
dog,
we're
here
not
we
going
go.
off on that tangent. We're
Here
talking
you go.
about.
You better figure it out.
But
go down that dog road again.
I'm gonna just say this: the dogs be lined up, and the first test they'll throw like a piece of meat down.
Okay.
And whatever dog can't resist eating the meat, he get kicked out of the program.
Dang.
But
like immediately?
Second. I would get kicked out in a second.
Right.
I'd be like,
Wait.
ooh, chicken.
Yeah. Cause he's not fit. Like if he's getting distracted already, he ain't got it in him. You just seeing our dog, you can't run off at no meat. Like you
What?
Right.
I'm a dog. I eat meat.
So that's what I'm saying. The dog that actually eats the meat and loses, he actually wins.
Yeah. He gonna go do some dog shit.
Right.
I ain't got to be no
Out the program. Go ahead, man.
I'm a
with
dog.
your-
I'm not supposed to have a job anyway. Fuck you niggas. That's what that dog said. Oh, let me eat the meat. Get the fuck out of here.
So that's how the
Blessed is
vulnerability.
the dog that can fucking resist the meat but chooses to eat it anyway, so you don't have to work with these other dogs. That's beautiful. That's the kind of vulnerability I'm talking about.
Right. Because he's open. He lets you know from the rip, look, man, I can't.
No.
Don't put
Are
me
you
in that
nuts?
program. Don't put me in that category.
Seeing eye dog. No.
And that brings me to the other part of what goes
I'm
along.
seeing if you got treats.
Yeah. But this is what I think is the counterpoint that goes along with vulnerability is, do you trust a dog that doesn't eat the meat?
No. What's wrong with this dog? Since I've been growing up, dogs be, you got something to eat?
Right.
And that's the connection. You're
Yeah.
like, let me feed them. They're fist size, maybe even smaller brain beings. How the fuck are they supposed to know? This is a test. I'm looking at all these other dogs. If I don't eat the meat,
But see, okay, and that's the same thing with us. How do we know shit ain't a test?
well, I know now.
Think
Shit.
about all of the shit when you're anytime you've ever not been your authentic self and failed the test.
Ugh.
As a result. Maybe not even as a result, but you damn near you feel like it was. You know what I mean? Like, you ever try to be something to get a girl
Yep.
and
Didn't
still
work
don't
out.
get the girl?
Didn't work out.
And people saw you being that something and you're like, no, like, that's not
that's
really
not me.
I was
That's-
lying to try to get the girl.
No. Yeah, I've done that.
That's crazy.
I don't put on, man. I just be Derek. And if they like this mean ass nigga, I'm supposed to be with this chick for whatever amount of time.
Undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? You do think about crazy stuff in a fight. Like my mind, because they always say you got to stay focused for 25 minutes. And for anyone that's never done it, you would think, oh, how's that hard to focus on your opponent? But it's weird. Extracurricular little things in the environment. I don't know, the ring girls, the clock, a fan saying something. You start thinking about weird stuff that has nothing to do with the fight. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like twice. So one of the bad things, I'll say the bad one first, with my fight with Marina Rodriguez. I'm like fighting, it was in the Apex, but it was like really, really quiet. Not like the Apex, this Apex, we had all my friends and stuff. It was
It gets popping. Oh no, you had a lot of support in the building.
Yeah.
Some rowdy Mexican ladies.
Yeah, but with Marina, I was fighting her and so it's quiet. And I'm like, Marina was one of my fights that I gained the less weight when I fought her. I think I gained 3 pounds. I was I fought her at 118, 119, I think. So I was really lean. And I remember in the middle of the fight, her coach is like, yeah, kick her in her chubby belly, and I'm thinking man, really? He's saying I'm chubby right now? I'm at my in the middle of the fight, so I'm like, that's so messed up.
Fat shaming you, Mackenzie. Not only beating you a fight, the coach is fat shaming you. We need to put an official complaint in. This is bullshit.
But then it was good because then the good part was with Angela Hill, I only landed the knee because I heard her coach say, right to the body, you know. And then she went and did it right when he said it, and then she went and did it, and then I landed it, you know. So
You're cheating.
Ah.
I'm just kidding.
No, but I did
you
hear
know-
him say it. I mean, that's what's good. I try to have my coaches speak Portuguese if I fight American, if I speak Brazilian, if I'm fighting Brazilian, have them speak
Yeah.
English, you know. But it's you can't kind of hear the stuff, you know.
You know, I don't want to continue with the fat shaming, but you are looking a little heavier these days, Mackenzie. And the only reason I say that, but you look like you've been, you know, focusing a lot on strength and conditioning. And I remember Perillo after the fight, we were having a beer at the beautiful Santa Fe station, and he was telling me that and I think it was for the Marina fight, you came in very, very light, and
Yeah.
for the one just gone, you had to do, you know, you had to do a proper weight cut, right?
Yeah.
So that was a big focus.
Yeah, it was more like, you know, the water, you know, losing the water. I mean, people don't realize, that's what I'm saying, like, people don't realize, I don't know if all the fighters are like this, but people don't realize how many, like, little traumas I think us fighters have, you know, if you kind of can get superstitious, you know, I don't know, to fight the same person that you lost to, or to fight in a place where, you know, maybe you had a really bad performance in, you know. So one of my traumas was because I didn't make weight in Rio, you know, and it was by, like, a lot. So I had a lot of, like, same thing, shame and stuff like that. So it was like I was kind of battling, and then, you know, having a baby and having your body go down low. I was kind of I was battling a lot of this. I didn't want to miss weight, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for the House of Hardcore podcast, Tommy Dreamer.
How it all originally started was, I remember it was NXT season 5. It was the get voted off NXT version. And I remember I got voted off. I was really upset. And I remember Bill DeMott texted me and said, hey, come in tomorrow. We've got, you know, an idea for you. And so, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. You know, it sounds great. I'll see you tomorrow. So flew in, went straight to practice. And Ricardo was there. And Ricardo had this group of people. It was Ricardo, Tito, Shaw, myself, Tom, Latimer. And I just looked at all of us and I said, well, could this clearly indicate that nobody knows anything to do with us? Like, I was like, just none of this even looks right to me, you know? And I remember Ricardo had to go away. They had TV that week on the West Coast. And I remember texting Ricardo, hey, we got promos today with Dream. What is it that you want us to talk about? Because he was
when
playing.
You say Ricardo, is that Alberto Del Rio's
Del
manager?
Rio.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This was his entire vision. And the vision of the Ascension was all these chakras and everything. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, so I texted him and I said, hey, Ricardo, what do you want us to talk about? He goes, talk about the Ascension and what it means to you. So I was like, okay, cool. So I told everybody to wear black. And so I just sent a mass text out. Let's all wear black. Let's talk about what the Ascension is and what it means to us. So we go there, and I don't know what it was, but I saw this vision hit me where I was, okay, well, Shaw's in the group. Shaw's the female. We put the female up front. She's the eye candy. We start just staggering everybody in different places. So it looks like we're spread out. So we all each set a line. Boom, 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 boom. Shaw hits. We are the Ascension and we will rise. Out. Dream comes out and he goes, Konnor, baby, come here. And I was like, oh man, I really screwed the pooch on this one, right? That's what I'm thinking. And so I go there and he goes, I want you to watch this back and look at how this looks on TV. And I remember watching it and I was like, wow, this looks really cool. And he goes, what does it make you think of? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, it makes me think of vampires. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, yeah, I could see that. And he's like, what's that one called? And Shaw goes, True Blood. He goes, yeah, True Blood. And he goes, I'll never forget this. He goes, Ricardo's out. It's like, oh, man.
Wow.
So I got Ricardo kicked out. I go, oh, no. And he looked Dream with a straight face, looks at me. He goes, do you want to tell him or you want me to tell him? And I go, Dream, I can't tell him this, man. I was like, I just texted about 3 hours ago what he wanted us to talk about. And so he's like, oh, I'll tell him. So so that's how it all formulated.
Godfrey. Trust. And what you say is true. Godfrey. Could be dangerous.
Can you do comedy in Chinese?
It would be much easier in Chinese because I don't have to think again.
Right.
It's like just do it.
You gotta think.
I write in Chinese. I write novels and essays when I'm
You
in
write
China.
novels
In classical Chinese literature. I that's my
Really?
that's what I do. I've been writing poetry in Chinese.
Really?
It helps me with your writing jokes when you write poem.
Really? I didn't know
So
that.
wait, you do like the little letter stuff?
Like
wait, hold up.
In China.
Hold on. Hold the fuck on. We have to hear this shit
little
again.
letter-
You just do the little letter
The
stuff.
letters that listen.
It's characters, but I love.
It's
But
the
you knew what I
No. He's like
The
you
house
do the little,
with
like
the
you do the little
flower in
letter
it.
stuff, the little Chinese
You get the
letters,
little Chinese little house.
little drawing.
little house,
Little
little
person.
stick people.
Yeah.
You said
Like little drawing. Yeah, the character.
That's exciting.
Actually,
It's exciting.
I think it's
He goes, that's exciting.
that's exciting. The little letter stuff. I love the little letter stuff. That's my thing right there. My little letter stuff. You like this? Do you do the little letter stuff?
I do.
But what was this? Is that the calligraphy?
That's the way they do it. I don't know what
I'm
they
a
do. That's
calligrapher.
how they do it.
I'm a calligrapher. I can do calligraphy. My grandpa is a scholar. He taught me.
Oh, who's your grandfather?
He's just a regular person who read a lot.
Grandfather's a
name?
squirter.
His name is
No, he's a scholar.
Oh, I didn't.
Squirter.
I-
Jesus
Squirter.
Christ. Pause.
I was like,
My hometown is where Oracle was discovered. The Chinese
She's
character.
from Hunan.
Henan.
Shaolin.
Shaolin Temple. Respect the temple. You bring things to the Shaolin Temple.
How many characters do y'all have?
Too many. I can't count. It's like
Wow.
tens of hundreds of thousands.
Interesting.
It's
Because
a lot.
we got like 26 letters, right?
That's it.
25.
Yeah.
You don't know that we have 26.
26. Yeah,
well, we got
25, 26.
we got 26. something.
Wow.
I didn't know. I think 25,
Wow.
26. So I was just like, how many?
No. Sorry.
says that
The
there's
left things. You got 25. How many we got?
Akeem is extra
You're
gay
part of
today.
You're part of the
It's almost
LG.
Pride Month.
You're part of the LGBTQ. You don't know how many letters.
We have
I
a
think
lot.
you guys got more than the alphabet.
We do. We're taking them. We're taking them one by one.
Akeem is extra. Akeem is extra gay today.
It's Pride Month. It's coming.
Akeem is just like Akeem, like them letter things.
I don't know how many characters you guys have. I was curious.
How many letters?
There are 50,000 Chinese characters.
50,000? God,
But
damn.
they use roughly 8 to 10,000 normally.
I know all of it.
50,000. Wow.
I know all of it.
Do you know all of the
All of it.
the
yeah,
characters?
I also know the classical, like the older version of it too. I studied that. My grandpa made me study it.
Chris and I want you to watch this TikTok, Johnny.
Okay.
And give us your take.
Your honest reaction.
Yeah.
You guys.
Now this TikTok is just a compilation of all his like hooks. TikTok hooks are like the question
yeah.
you fucking pop off.
It's a compilation.
Yeah.
Pooping on his wee-wee because how to properly finger your butt. First, remember to close your eyes when he comes on your face. I got chlamydia in my throat from someone's pre-cum. How to not choke and barf when you swallow his nut. I have to baby barf from it. Try not to cut yourself if you're sad. Getting head at 6 years old from a male pedophile definitely sucked. Like I think my
Literally.
butthole is really hairy and I've hurt myself shaving down there. So today, I want to as a gay dude, I really don't want AIDS. And when you short his
That's
junk
pretty
out of the
smart,
toilet
actually.
after getting bread in the butt. Watch out for these colors because I used to rub my own jizz all over my face and I would leave it on overnight. We all love to call him daddy, right? Like let's talk about why I asked my ex-partner to put a knife to my
Put a knife to my throat during missionary. is what he said.
So fucking Chris sends me this.
By the way, hot.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And
That's,
the first thing I said is I love this man.
Yeah.
And then Chris asked me, "Is this real?" And then I thought for a second, it could be AI because the guy has a very smooth face.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
no. I more meant, is this sat? I thought it was Poe's Law.
No. Okay.
No.
So
like, I couldn't tell if it was satire or not.
That could have been that as well.
By the way, this is our Pride Month bit for the day.
So I then looked into it and found his account.
Yeah.
And this dude is indeed real.
That's
and I
what's up.
love his fucking TikTok account.
Solid
Now,
advice.
Johnny, what do you think? Did you think he was real?
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, it's for real because he kept changing his shirts.
Jorge.
A bot don't have only but one shirt.
That's true. As an open-minded, that's true. Like a cartoon character.
Mhm.
All AI bots are cartoon characters. Jorge, as probably the wokest person here, did you think that was real or satire?
I think it's real.
Did you when we first saw the first three, you thought that was a real guy who was earnestly trying to give advice to other gay men?
Pre or
Definitely.
after cum?
Definitely. I mean,
Really?
for all times of coming. Johnny, did you not pay attention to the
By the way, that was all on TikTok, right?
All on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. So I found his account, and it's quite popular. It's like 500,000.
So questionable because he's saying all this shit, and yet
500,000
he gets away with it. What's the trick to that? Is he fooling the algorithm or some shit?
I don't know.
Maybe the tags,
Because
he's not tagging the shit a certain way, they don't pick it up.
You can't
He's tagging everything.
You can't really
Oh.
speak that graphically normally on a TikTok account. And this guy's talking all about nut and jizz and cum and fucking.
He's gonna have
butt
me
babies.
get back on TikTok, so I'm gonna have a fucking battle with his
Butt
ass.
babies. He said something about fucking a butt baby.
Getting bread in the butt.
Getting bread in the butt. That's it.
It's got to be something. Maybe because
That's just letting him nut in your butt.
Yeah, it's getting bread in the butt.
Why wouldn't you call that nut in the butt? It's just so
I
fun.
feel like
it's
it
so
feels
fun to
better.
say.
But I mean, you know,
It
you
is
beat
fun,
the algorithm
but-
by saying bread, I guess.
No, bread breeding. That's a fucking kink.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know that was a
Cream pie.
Did you think it was cum bread?
I thought he came on bread and they shoved it in his ass, and then they
Oh, like
make
a
him eat
baguette.
it. Yeah. Well, we could call it a bag. I was just saying something.
He took it out as like Nutella.
Yeah, it's
Nut.
like,
Tell
Nut. Yeah, get it?
Nut is life.
You gotta put that on the
According to
shirt,
this guy.
son.
I mean, that's his main source of protein. He's vegan other than that.
But I mean, I watched like the ISIS videos, those promo videos and stuff like that. Like, I don't like watching those.
I like
but
how you say promo.
promos. Well, that's what it was. It's a promotional video. The whole thing.
They used to upload those on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they were
and
like-
a live leak and all that kind of stuff? You know.
So do you think they watch the analytics?
Yeah,
like everyone's dropping
there is
off.
a job. There's a job.
Why did this video get 30,000 views and this beheading video?
We
only
got to
got
get the
2,000?
beheading earlier. Everyone's dropping off after the first minute.
You're talking too long.
I think this is the worst job, and I just like wrote it into like this show. But like the guy who's got to screen, because there is guys that have to screen Facebook and YouTube videos
right.
after a complaint is made. So these guys are just watching
Murder.
the gnarliest shit all day long, like just. As like
That's a good point. They've just seen murder, and
just
rape.
like pedophilia, murder, yeah, like animal abuse. Like
They're
all
getting
this
paid
kinda
minimum wage.
Yeah. They're getting paid minimum wage.
I would assume that's an outsourced tech support type gig.
Could be.
It's like someone in India.
Yeah.
Man, we want our American trauma watchers here.
Took our nerves. They're always bringing those trauma
I mean,
watchers.
how do you come home? Like you come home and you're just like, oof. Like,
How was your day, honey?
Oh, fine. Like it's that's weirder to just be like, yeah, it was all right, you know.
Just
putting cigarettes beheadings, you know.
Well, imagine if that person posts something on Facebook and it gets flagged for being triggered. I'm like, you think that's triggering?
You think that's triggering?
I just saw a family murdered.
Burning himself with cigarettes, like must feel something.
That is a hard. That's a good part. They never. But I think that is maybe an outsourced job. They probably pick like a third world country where they're used to that shit. But like still. So they probably are getting paid way less than minimum wage.
Oh yeah, no, they have that in Silicon Valley. Is like there's like a group that like that's their job.
Oh, so it is Americans who do that.
Americans outsource it.
Oh, outsource it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
Americans.
both. I think it's both.
You think Americans are doing it?
I think there's some Americans that are watching it, and then I think that there's ones that are not, like that they outsource all the job. There's so many different platforms now that it's like there's no way to say one
Track
thing is
all
one
of them,
thing,
yeah.
you know.
So is there somebody? Because to me, there's got to be somebody that works for Pornhub that's making sure there's not child porn up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one day I was like, I opened Pornhub and it was like a picture of a girl fucking a dog. It was like on there for like an hour, you know, and I'm like, how did this not get flagged?
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I think that there's just somebody there, you know.
I just imagine you going back and being like, is it still there?
It's still there. I thumb mark it or whatever.
Let's see what happens. It's real primitive. It's very grungy.
I mean, that's where I came up, baby.
Well, Mama told me when I was young, she sit beside me
my only son. And listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Or take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. You'll find a woman and you'll find love. And don't forget that there's someone up above, of course. And be a simple kind of man. And be something you love and understand. So baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Something like that.
Oh my God. Holy shit, that was fucking amazing.
What a goddamn pro, huh?
God damn it.
What a goddamn professional.
By the way,